Hello, it's Jimmy again at O'Reilly's Mobile Mechanics. I have here a Renault Trafic to look at. So this is the newer facelift model with a 2 litre engine in it. Okay, so customer complaint is this: engine failure hazard, check injection, check anti-pollution system. All of those messages are coming up. I'm trying to see, sometimes you can flick through them by pressing here, but it's not moving. Spanner light's on and the engine management light is also on. Okay, so here's some more stories again. He's been to 5 different mechanics and all 5 of them have done a forced regeneration, but by the time he drives out of the garage, the light is back on. We've got another light on here now saying check anti-pollution system. I'll show you that. Check anti-pollution, check stop start as well. A few different errors coming up basically. Okay, so I'm going to use this scan tool, I think scan 689BT again. Okay, we're going to do an automatic search of the system and we'll see what fault codes we can find. Something clearly wrong. Like I always say to people who have a blocked DPF, they always say, oh, DPFs are such a headache. The DPF is rarely ever the problem. 99% of DPF issues is just a DPF telling you that the vehicle is not running correctly, something else is wrong somewhere, and it's just flagging up as a DPF error. And again, forced regens, a nice little explanation for that would be, you've got a flat tire, you go into a tire shop and they say, okay, let's try putting some more air in it. You drive out the road, get a half a mile down the road, your tire is flat again. You come back to a different garage, he suggests that we try and put some air in it, and that's all these guys are doing. He's just going around in circles. Let's do a forced regen, let's press a button and do a forced regen. Yes, it's going to burn off some soot, you're likely going to damage your DPF in the process, but very shortly afterwards you're going to flag up an engine light because you haven't fixed any faults. You've pressed a button on a machine. Pressing buttons on a computer doesn't fix faults basically. Okay, so straight away there I can see we have a fault with external temperature sensor. Now you've probably already seen that on my channel before. Particulate filter parametrics, engine oil dilution, and again particle filter operation. Engine oil level sensor as well there. I'm going to ignore that one because I know that doesn't affect anything really. Most of these that I see have the oil level sensor fault. Probably most of them, even if you just drain the oil down to the correct level, that fault will go away. So we're going to look at the condition of the DPF. No, not that one. That one. And then we're going to look at the soot content that's calculated. Go to metric. Well, it says 0 grams, which is weird. Sorry, I'm pressing it too quick and I'm going back. So I'm not sure why we have 0 grams in there, but we have 104 pressure, which is an extremely blocked DPF. Now let's just put the revs up around 3000 RPM. We have over 400 pressure. So we have an extremely blocked DPF. We should have a reading of 62 grams there, but I take it someone's reset that. I'm going to say that's what's been happening. Right, let's look at the external temperature. We are currently at round about freezing, or 1 degrees today. Right, temperature is reading, but it's reading at 7 degrees. Okay, just had a chat with a customer and he has replaced the wing mirror with one from eBay, so I think that's the culprit. But we're going to try and clear the fault codes. Like I said, clearing the fault codes is not fixing the problem. We're just going to see. My doubt now in my head is, has that fault been cleared after he's fitted the wing mirror from eBay, or is just because it's reading 7 degrees, it doesn't mean that the wing mirror is giving off the correct signals, and it still can flag up. I've showed that before. We had one where it was 10 degrees outside, the sensor was reading 10 degrees, but it would still come up with an external temperature sensor circuit error. Put a new wing mirror on the van and it was absolutely fine after that straight away. So I think we have a bad signal coming from the wing mirror, especially since it's been bought from eBay. It's not a genuine part, and if it's been bought from eBay, we don't even know what the brand is. We don't know if it's a good brand or is it just an unbranded one basically. Okay, first we're going to try and see what happens if we clear the fault codes. Is it a permanent live fault? Is it just coming back immediately, or does it take some time to get it back? We'll know that now by just running the van for a few minutes. Okay, now we've cleared the fault codes. We've got a message saying top up your AdBlue before 1500 miles. Let's see, are we getting a temperature reading up here now? Yeah, there we go, 7 degrees. I still find it amazing for me to see that, like, this has been to, it's had 5 regens at 5 garages, and nobody has thought to, okay, let's try and fix these faults. You know, are they related to why the DPF's blocking up? Now, I kind of know the reason why that is. Most mechanics, if they're there to fix one fault, they're concentrating on that fault. If they're there to fix an alternator, or they're there to fix brake pads, they're looking at the brake pads, or they're looking at the alternator, they're looking at the starter motor, if that's what it is. They're not looking elsewhere. But with a DPF, it's never the DPF that's the problem. Unless you've got a damaged DPF, which is very, very rare. It's always an issue elsewhere. Like you've got something that is inhibiting the DPF from doing its regen, or you have something that's putting the van into limp mode, and then the van isn't in the correct running order, so it's not going to regen the DPF. Okay, so within 100 yards we have a P2002 or a 2002-92. In Renault terms, engine failure hazard is back up. Now, your engine is not going to fail because of this, but it does give you the engine failure hazard message. So something else that we can do with these scan tools is look at the regeneration authorization. Not every car has this information, but this one does. You can see there, it's not authorizing a regeneration of the vehicle because we have our engine light on down there, engine failure hazard message. Now if I go back and clear that fault code, let's do that, and we go back to the data stream, it might still say no, but it could momentarily say yes. Of course the vehicle has to be at regeneration temperature. Okay, we still have that ticked, so okay, we still have a no on that, but we'll start the vehicle up now. As long as we can get the vehicle to run for a few minutes without the engine failure hazard coming on, we should get an authorization of yes. So by driving the vehicle with very, very low revs, basically between under 1,500 RPM, we should be able to let the vehicle drive without triggering off the block DPF error, because the higher you keep the revs, the more pressure builds up in the DPF, and that's what will trigger the DPF blocked error. So if we keep the revs low for a mile or so, we could maybe get this to say yes, it wants to regen now. Okay, so we've had some test drives and I've had a bit of looking around. The fault for the wing mirror hasn't come back, so I've had a chat with the customer again, and you see, having a talk with your customer sometimes can be like a police interrogation, and the more questions you ask, suddenly stuff starts to come out. So here's the deal. Wing mirror was changed, right, but it's had the original wing mirror put back on. The wing mirror fault wasn't there. The wing mirror has been fitted for almost a year now, he said. He caused the wing mirror fault to come back up because he copied my video. He changed the wing mirror for a cheap one off eBay. That didn't fix it, so it's got the original wing mirror on, but he's been unplugging it and fitting another one and then plugging it back in, and the fault code hasn't been reset after that's been happened. So the fault code hasn't returned now for the wing mirror. The reading has come down to 6 degrees. It's off a little bit, but they're not accurate anyway. We haven't got any error there for the wing mirror, so we're left with oil dilution and a block DPF, which now is making me think the DPF is either damaged or filled with ash. We have only got 60,000 miles on this, so I doubt it's going to be ash, so there's probably likely to be DPF damage. If we've got oil dilution is normally caused by excessive regens, and excessive regens are caused by having a block DPF, a damaged DPF, sorry. If the DPF is damaged, it will consistently try and regen. All the vehicle is seeing is high DPF pressure, and it tries to correct that by doing a regen, another one, another one, another one, another one. So if that's not happening, there's something else behind it. When I say that, when that's not happening, I mean when the pressure isn't coming down. If it's been doing multiple regens and the pressure's not coming down, you've not got combustible soot in there that's not what's holding up the pressure. You've either got a melted DPF, some sort of damage in some way, or ash buildup. That's where removal of the DPF and back flushing could help, but I doubt that would be the case. Normally you need at least 150,000 miles to get ash buildup. Most cars can get to 250, 300,000 miles before you have ash buildup to the point where it's causing your DPF to have high pressure. But I am seeing some Vivaros and stuff now with around 150,000 miles on, where I think ash is the problem. So some cars will create more soot and then generate ash a lot quicker than others. Peugeot Boxers, Ford Transits generally don't have issues with ash until 250,000 miles or above. So now my question is, there's no information, anything further on the live data that I can look at. Is the DPF damaged? Without trying to clean it, I will know by doing a DPF clean if the pressure doesn't come down, the DPF's damaged. If it does come down, the DPF's not damaged. But we'll have a look at the tailpipe and see what information that gives us. So we have a lot of excessive white crystallization, so from the AdBlue. Now, what can cause that? I mean, the reason, sorry, I'm trying to get the right words. What if we have a lot of white powder or crystallization build-up in there? That could block the DPF, and a forced regen will not burn that away because it's not a combustible material. A forced regen uses heat to burn off combustible material. Soot is combustible, so with heat it will burn away. Heat will not burn this away. It's crystallization, so it's not going to do anything to it. So maybe by flushing that out we could drop the pressure. So we have 110 pressure, 105 pressure. We need to get that down to sort of between 2 to 6 millibars of pressure, 6 millibars of pressure at max. If that doesn't happen, then the DPF's damaged. Okay, so here's where we are. We are going to attempt to do a DPF clean. Unfortunately, because most of the parameters have been reset, I don't know how often the van's been trying to regen. Don't know the full information, but we're going to have to try and clean it down and then go from there. Okay, so down at the back of the engine we have the DPF pressure hose. We've got that connected up. We're using the Launch UK DPF cleaning fluid and gun, and we're going to hopefully attempt to get this DPF clean. I'm going to do this with the engine running. The DPF sits quite high in these. If it's higher than the cylinders or quite close to it, you don't want to backfill it into the engine. So I'm not 100% confident this is going to work on this van. I've got doubts on it. The wing mirror fault has been triggered by him unplugging it. We've got an oil dilution fault, which is not a good sign on these. Oil dilution 9 times out of 10 is caused by a damaged DPF, where it's regenerating excessively because of the damaged DPF. It's trying to get the pressure down and it's not being successful, so it will repeat the process over and over until it tries to work. But I don't know the full history behind the van. It's only done 60,000 miles, so if this had 120 on it, I would say almost certainly it would have a damaged DPF. It's done 60,000 miles. We definitely shouldn't have ash build up. Whether or not it's been damaged by the 5 forced regenerations that have been done is the question here. So by getting rid of any soot contaminants or anything like that, and the white crystallization powder that we have a lot of build up on, by getting rid of that we'll have an answer on what the condition of the DPF is. So I'm just holding the trigger here, spraying that fluid in until it's all done. Okay, back inside we now have 42, 43 pressure. We're going to take it on a drive. First we'll hold the revs up. Give it a chance to burn off some of that DPF cleaner. We did have 400 there, now we've got 146. Okay, we're now down to 14 or 15 millibars of pressure. You can see now in the test drive it's doing a regeneration on its own. So what we can see here is when the temperature increases on the DPF, the pressure is actually increasing again. So that indicates the damaged DPF. So if you can see here, we're just finishing another regen. So it's done 3 passive regenerations within sort of 10 or 15 miles of driving. You can see there the pressure has come back up. You can see as this temperature, you see as it was at 600, we were at 42. As that temperature comes down, the pressure in the DPF is going to be lowering, which is indicating that the DPF is sort of contracting as it's getting hot. Okay, so if we come out of the live data now, we'll likely see that we have no fault codes yet. We are going to get some fault codes come back here, and I'll tell you what they are. It's exactly what I suspected at the start. Okay, so what's going to happen here is this vehicle is going to perform its own passive regen every sort of 10 miles, and after it's done that maybe 20 or 30 times, it will flag up a 2002-92 code and an oil dilution code as well. After it's done so many passive regens, the van will then think, okay, now we've got too much oil dilution, because the diesel fuel will get into the oil through the cylinders as it's doing a regen, and then so the only option now for this is to replace the DPF, or depending on the type of person you are, DPF delete, but it needs one or the other. The main cause, from what I could see, did start off with the mirror. He did replace the mirror after it had 5 regens, but it was too late, I think, by then, because he said he then found my video about the mirror. He replaced the mirror, but obviously then the fault was still coming back. I think at that point what happened was, after the many regens it's had, forced regens, he would have had a full DPF, and then they forced the regen while it's full of combustible soot. It was too much for the DPF to handle, and it's melted really. So that's where we are. That's the diagnosis on this one. So that's it. See you on the next video.